always love the look on people's faces when they hear our backwards audio. But I love the song. I used to play it forward. It cost me a fortune. Now I play it backwards until I get permission to play it forward from the band. I want to thank Thunder for letting me play you backwards. Love walked in. It's my jam, man. I got no choice. It is the Yeah Come On show. I am Southside Steve, your host. That's my co-host, Brett Barney, and special guest and former producer of my afternoon show on 96 Rock back in the day, Mr. Alfred Romero.
Hello there, Steve Rickman.
What are you doing, dude?
Man, it seems like forever since I last seen you, my friend.
It has. Last time we were in a studio together was 2005. So it's been a minute.
Right, before the firing of when you just came back, too. It was like you had just came back to the show, literally, like it seemed like a few weeks, and then Larry got us fired again.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So yeah, to tell that story, the regular guys get blown out. I'm not in the room. They're playing backwards audio. It goes out over the air. Tim Rhodes and I are making basically a protest against the regular guys. We're like, we want to do our own thing. I want off this morning show. I've been on it since 1998. I just couldn't stand Larry. And, I said, I want off. So we were going to do the afternoon show. So I wasn't in the studio. They get blown out. Then we do mornings for 2 or 3 weeks. Then they move us to afternoons. We're playing Bob and Tom in the morning, syndicated. Then Alfred, we have Kevin Green as our producer, which we had to pay out of our own pocket. Then we get Alfred, which I think you were paid by Clear Channel, if I remember.
No, I was doing your show for free.
Thank you.
I was an intern at the time. At that time, I just finished up my first year. I was there. Originally, I was hired to do Braves games because 96 Rock was the new home for the Braves at the time. Yeah. And Tim Frazier. Yep. Actually, what happened was I used to follow Tim Rhodes around because I was trying to get into the business. So I'd hang out at all his gigs and I'd have him. This is how long ago I'd hand him my demo tapes of my jock breaks to try to get on the air. I was trying to get a gig there. And then, so through him, he was like, hey, the Braves are coming to 96 Rock. They're going to need some board ops. So let me get you in touch with Tim Frazier. And next thing you know, they hired me on to do a few games a week. And then when the season was over, I was like, man, I got to keep my face in the building somehow so I can, keep my face around. So at that time, I came to you guys and said, hey, I would love to produce your afternoon show, and your guys like, oh, you're gonna do it for free? Great. I think I do have the only thing that I think Steve got me as a compensation for that gig was a shirt. He had bought me the shirt that was like, I don't know. He said it was like a lot of. I still have the shirt. It's in my closet.
I probably did. At least I had a heart more than Rhodes. Rhodes was cool. I remember he brought you to the table. I had brought Kevin Green to the table because we'd been doing independent films together. We'd done The Sorority and The Greenskeeper with John Rocker and all this other stuff.
Well, I mean, if you kids go out and get this classic movies,
yeah.
Right there with Dazed and Confused and Smoking the Bandit as far as if we're going to be ranking movies go.
And I'll tell you, I keep doing this to Brett. I did it last week too, but check this out.
Yeah, he just likes to walk away, so then I have to sit here and fill time so we can just discuss random stuff. Love your hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I love your
there it is.
Oh, yes. Now, let me tell you something. This is the one thing I miss about Southside Steve's down in Henry County was literally you'd walk in, you thought you were on the set of Smoking and the Bandit because, like, basically it was all. I really do miss that bar, Steve. I wish there was some way we could bring that back, but those were some of the best years because I didn't live but just maybe an exit away from Southside Steve. So when he was out there on Saturdays, I'd go out there and I'd come in. He would like take care of me. He'd get me my drinks. I'd sit in the little VIP section. I met him Banda the first time there at Southside Steve's.
Well, trust me, when you own a bar and you're only there one day a week and you hire people to take care of it, and everybody has their hand in it up to their elbow and stealing from you, and you figure out that it's costing you $100,000 a year personally to keep the doors open. And you're like, we're making money. Where's the money going? So the best thing you can do is drink for free and let your friends drink for free. That was the only way I could screw myself and enjoy it was drinking free. So You're
like
welcome.
one of my favorite shows to watch is Bar Rescue, and I would have loved if like John Tafford would have came down to Southside Steve's. And like,
here's the deal. He did. He did. He came down, interviewed us. We all did the interviews. We were. It was between us and another bar getting it, and my partners, unbeknownst to me, tubed the whole thing and said no because they were going to get caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
So they were doing it as a way for them to not to get busted for,
Yes.
out of your money.
Wait, I have
every time I talk with Taffer, I'm like, dude, you were going to save my bar. And that's how hands off I was. But I had partners that were helping run it. And all of a sudden the Taffer thing went away. I go, hold on. I know we were a shoe in. We talked, the bar, the Smoking the Bandit were perfect. And they talked to Amanda and I for over an hour on a taped interview. I'm like, I'm in the business. I know we got this. And then I did digging and found out they said no.
Well, I was about to say it would have been smart for him to pick your bar because in the Atlanta market, you would have gotten huge numbers from probably that episode.
I know.
Sure probably would have promoted the hell out of it on the radio, and I'm sure some television probably would have picked up on it as well.
Oh, I hope Karma's putting a hickey on about 10 people. Trust me.
Is it true that to be on Bar Rescue, kind of like you watch House Hunters, they go to 3 houses, but they have to purchase the house before they even film the episode, so it's all kind of fake. I've heard that on Bar Rescue that you have to pay $50,000 before they do the renovations.
If that's the case, I didn't get to that point. I would have done it. We didn't get to that point, so I don't know that for a fact. No, I don't know. That would have probably been in paperwork that's disclosed to you when you know you're the one. But I never knew that.
Like that would have been such a classic episode. Like
it would have been great.
Oh my god, I could only imagine how like hilarious that shit would have been for you. Guys.
I would have been a mess. I mean, a real live Smoking the Bandit theme bar. I think I'm the only one to ever do it, but it was. People don't realize how big it was. It was 8,000 square foot with an 8,000 square foot.
It was huge. It's that was a prominent building. The only thing that really sucked about it, just like the location kind of sucked a little bit.
Oh, you mean the police department right across
You're right down
the street
from the jail and the police department, the police station. So.
I figured, okay, people won't drink and drive because of the cops. I was wrong. People won't fight because of the cops. I was wrong. People won't sue me for jumping off the stage, being idiots. I was wrong about that too. So, that has its headaches. But one reason I wanted to have you on the Yeah Come On show is I knew that Brett was in touch with you. And I told him, I said, when Alfred came on, our afternoon show was kind of like a morning show. We were doing about 6-7 minute breaks, pissing the program.
Yeah, we'd always hear shit about we weren't playing the right amount of songs.
And he goes, and we knew that our job was probably on the line for doing it. But I'm like, for me to do 1 minute breaks, there's zero job security. And I remember in the meeting they're like,
what's the point of doing 1 minute breaks when you have a 2-man show?
And that's what I said to him. I said, so let me get it straight. Do I do 40 seconds and Rhodes does 20? And then the next time we flip flop it? I'm like, kiss my ass. We're going to do what we do. And they blew us out in January 3rd in 2006. I was out of work for about 11 months. So they meant what they said, and I guess we did too. But then,
a great thing about that story was our last gig we did before you guys took your Christmas break was Toys for Tatas.
Yeah,
was the last we did that live at the Pink Pony.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember as we were wrapping up that broadcast, jokingly, the two of you were talking, "Hey, this might be our last day here at the radio station because, we're going to take our holiday break and they probably won't call us until we come back to let us go." So, you guys were jokingly saying that, but I think maybe subconsciously you probably were like, this might be it for us.
I thought so. I mean, you just know when you're upsetting people. And that was at the point in time where Clear Channel was going, less is more. Stupid as shit. Really? You have air personalities. If people want music, they can find music. They want to be entertained in the morning and on the drive home. You need personalities. And now, they realize what morons they were. And I was fighting the system. I'm like, this is stupid. And I'm not going to get blown out because any asshole can talk for 40 seconds, So,
I'm one of them. That's how I started.
Yeah. I don't want to get fired up.
I have respect for you because you look, at least if you're going to go out, you're going to go out your way. instead of going out their way. So was that when Buzz was our program director at the time?
Yeah, and Buzz, I don't know where you are, but you're a complete moron, and I think you were. Yeah, I won't even say what drug I think he was on every day.
He was one of the worst program directors we ever had, because he's one of those guys that you'd walk into his office and you're trying to talk to him and he's not listening to you because he's on the computer, but he's pretending like he's listening to you. So you go and you go, hey, yeah, like Tim, like Steve and Tim and I have this idea for, so he's like, oh yeah, that was a great idea.
Here's the thing, and this is not why they blew up 96 Rock. They blew it up because of one dude's wet dream to screw over the alternative station for the company I work over. So he wanted to go after, back in probably not too much Atlanta talk, but he wanted to go after 99X. So he blows up a heritage rock station of 33 years to call it Project 961. Yeah, that was stupid. And he does that to go after them, whatever, who cares? But you blew up a heritage rock station, kind of like the Loop in Chicago or K-Rock in LA. I'm like, what are you doing?
I mean, I grew up listening to 96 Rock. I moved to Georgia in 1988. And at that time, I'm listening to what my parents were listening to. At that time was like, Star 94 and the early days of those stations. And then when I discovered 96 Rock, my head exploded. I was introduced to a whole new style and of music. The first song was a Boston song that I heard on 96 Rock. And then I just fell in love with Boston. And then I fell in love with every other band that was played after that.
Well, the thing that people don't realize is that 96 Rock was the only rock station in the 80s when I was in high school. And they were playing Duran Duran, Led Zeppelin, and Journey. They could do whatever they wanted because they had it all. So that was the magic of it. And it had turned more into a classic rocker. And I'm not a total guy that wants to do classic rock because it has a ceiling. I like a rock station where you can play new rock, old rock, whatever. But
that was our motto, was 96 Rock, the best in new rock and classic rock. But, if it rocked, it rocked. It kind of was basically like how it was.
But that station got blown up, man. And when they blew it up, I wasn't on it. So I did country for a year and then came back. And what people don't realize, Rock 100.5 in Atlanta now is that we're doing what 96 Rock was doing. That's what we do.
And I felt bad because I was there that morning along with Finn. Finn was the one who pushed the button to
kill it.
And I was just in the background in a fetal position, just kind of crying a little bit.
I heard that Finn teared up when he killed the radio station. Is that true?
I don't know. I wasn't in the studio when it happened, but I wouldn't be surprised. He had a lot of pride for that, as all of us did. I mean, that was, like you said, it's a heritage station. We had just celebrated, I think, 30 years around that time. And if you go to because you were a part of the 96 Rock documentary, that if you go to YouTube and check it out, which I think is a great documentary about the history of 96 Rock and how it became what it is.
Yeah, there's no doubt, though. I think the sweet spot for 96 Rock, and I have to give us credit, even though I was on 2 different morning shows and an afternoon show, was the regular guys. That 13-year run, or I would say 7-year run, was probably the best radio ever on 96 Rock. Unless you dig the jocks of the 70s and 80s, just shooting it to records. And there were some funny morning shows, Christopher Rude and the Wake Up Crew. But what we did on the regular guys, basically doing Opie and Anthony content in the South, was unheard of. Unprecedented.
Funny. I mean, Opie and Anthony, I don't think it's funny. You guys did it in a funny way. And I remember vividly the first time I heard the regular guys in the morning. And I just said to myself, this is nothing like I've ever heard on radio before.
It shouldn't have been on the radio. We ruined children.
Looking at it now, there'd be no way you guys could get away with probably half the stuff, because I have both of the best of the regular guys CDs. I have them on my iPod and everything, so I listen to it. And occasionally I listen to it because there's a couple of favorite bits on there that I know for a fact would not work today, which was the time Larry wrote a check on a dildo, and you took that check to the bank to see
no, dude, it was messed up. And they won't cash it, by the way. And I had the numbers and everything on it, and I slid the dildo up under the little teller thing, and the woman was like, and she put her hands like this, like, oh my God. Instantly the guards alerted. I'm like, I'm not robbing a bank. I'm just written a check on a dildo. Everybody ease up. And man, they grabbed my tag number. I had to run out of that bank. It was crazy. They were furious at me.
Wait, where was that bank?
SunTrust off of Chambly Dunwoody.
He goes, hey, I'm going to write this check for $100. So that way, you tell him like, hey, it's for my rent or something. I need this.
I said, I got to have it. And I said, the dude did it as a prank, but I've got to have the money. I said, all the information's correct. His signature, it's all correct.
And I remember the one lady goes, well, the machine's not cylindrical. It doesn't, it only takes paper. It doesn't take anything. And that was great. Like the regular, I mean, and I have to say, I enjoyed the episode when you had Larry on.
Talking about our Yeah, Come On podcast that you're on right now. We I will say Brett and I have put the olive branch out there not once but twice, because I don't care for him over his treatment of me and anybody else on that show. And it's like the dude was scared of success. He just tubed it with his stupidity. He's the smartest dumb guy I've ever met. He's got incredible ability on the radio, but he's a moron and has no skills to work with people at all. He needs to be on his
but the three of you together, along with Rhodes, who was doing sports,
it was awesome.
Time there was nothing better on Atlanta radio. We listen to Atlanta morning radio now. There is nothing that holds a candle.
Hold on, Dick. I'm on morning radio.
Well, I mean, I heard you changed the host, so I haven't given the new.
I didn't change the host. The host got fired.
I just said that the host changed.
No, the host got fired. It's now Rock Mornings. We're looking for a new host to come on January 3rd with me. So yeah, right now Axel's filling in. I'm messing with you, dude. I don't. If I gave a shit what people thought, I would live in a hole. So it's cool. You gotta have hate.
We can get a whole other story about that situation, but anyway. But yeah, what you guys brought to the table was just amazing. It was something you never heard of, and at the time you just thought, wow, Clear Channel has some balls. They're doing something fun and entertaining in the mornings when you're stuck in traffic. And like for me, I was on the school bus. Like my bus driver put on the regular guys as we were going to school. So
they should not have done that. And Janet Jackson and Timberlake, whatever is down. I don't even want to give it Justin Timberlake.
That's post high school for me.
So. Yeah, they screwed it up for us with that little Super Bowl move.
So that basically for you guys was that was the stake in the heart that killed not just the regular guys, but just morning entertainment radio.
Well, I'm going to kill you right now for saying I suck in the morning, basically, and we're going to take a break.
I didn't say you sucked.
No,
I didn't say you sucked. Okay, we can have all the conversation about what I thought about.
I got you. I don't need to talk about that dude or any other dudes, man. There's so many. I've got a review mirror that's this big, and I tilted it down so I don't even see what's behind me. I will tell you that we are moving on the Yeah Come On show. We're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to talk to Alfred about one of the craziest bits and one of the craziest things we had him do. I'm Southside Steve, your host. That is Brett Barney, my co-host. That's going to get a word in edgewise. Our guest, Ralph. I want to call you Ralph, but your name's Alfred. I don't know why I've always wanted to call you Ralph. Okay. I don't know your middle name, but it's Alfred Romero. And Alfred is a good buddy and has been in the studio with me for years. And we'll get back to him after this commercial break.
I'm Allison with Circle 285 Insurance, and we've got you covered at every turn. Whether ITP or OTP, the only TP we care about is total protection for your family. Have you ever wondered if you're paying too much for home and auto insurance? Do you have enough coverage, and will your carrier pay your claim in an accident? Visit us at circle285.com for a free quote today. Visit circle285.com or call me, Allison, at 770-904-9586 for a free quote today.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives, everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms and in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
Special thanks to our advertisers, oxygenfinancial.com with Ted Jenkins for all your financial needs. Of course, you saw the commercial and heard the commercial for Circle285.com for all your insurance needs. And David Markwell, Dr. Dave. thank you for everything that you did for me and that you're going to do one day for Brett, because he needs counseling at Ridgeline. I promise you that. And our brand new sponsor, Joe Bees, joebees.com, JOEBEES, or you can call those guys at 877-300-5632. And that is a 24-hour number, and get your bee pollen. I swear by it. Take 2 golden capsules a day. It'll change you. They got 100% satisfactory guarantee on it. If you're not happy, send it back. You'll get your money back. But I say give it 4 or 5 weeks to see what bee pollen can do for you. It is the Yeah Come On show, and our special guest, Alfred Romero and Brett Barney. You mentioned something you heard on the radio, which is one of the reasons.
First of all, it's Romero, buddy. Alfred Romero.
What do I keep calling
me the car Alfa Romeo, which I get that all the time, but it's Romero.
Your name's fucked up, man.
I don't know.
Romeo, right?
Yeah, it's Romeo. That's it.
Alfred Romeo?
No, it's not. It's Romero.
Romero.
Yes.
And I'm saying Alpha Romeo. What am I saying?
No, you're saying Romeo is what I thought you just said. I've heard every different variation of the way.
I thought I said your name correctly. I said Alfred. Damn the bourbon tonight. The bourbon is flowing.
I think it sounds more like peanut butter.
I think it took Steve 3 months before he finally got my name correct.
I don't,
or not a variation of hey you or that or you go get this or hey intern guy go get that.
I was horrible. They used to quiz me.
He's the worst with names.
Brett, they would quiz me on the show. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Well, you've met like 3 million people in your life, dude. I mean, shit. You've met.
And I'm getting older.
You pretty much either dated, met, or married someone in the Georgia area. So
married once, not a divorced dude.
Well,
but you're right.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I waited till 49 to do that. But no, so Alfred Romero. Shit. Alfred Romero.
There you go. You got it. I'm glad this one's videotaped and recorded so I can have proof that it got my name right.
It happened. I got your name right.
All right.
Take it, Brett Barney.
Okay, first off, I have to start here. Alfred, I love the fact that you have the 96 Rock, like home of the Braves. That was the t-shirt that I had when I used to lifeguard. It was that exact one. And on the back, it said, "The regular guys are back." I don't know why it was that voice, but that's what I heard in my head.
Well, that was the imaging guy that sounded like that. So you got
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any other 96 Rock stuff at your home, or is that the only one?
My little man cave down here is basically between the Braves and a radio mantra here. So I got like other banners from other radio stations. That's 106N out of Charlotte.
Did you work for them?
No, I just stole it. And
nice.
Then I have this one. This was up in the booth in the Braves radio booth during the years that we had Braves baseball. So
yeah.
And then the 640 without the W in it because they thought that was for some reason really cool.
Okay.
The 640 GST, and then I have the mic
it's
stand.
It's good to be a 3-letter station, I guess.
So. So I have there's a 96 Rock
nice.
microphone thing. I got
Mic flag.
Mic flag. I got one for 640, and then I have another 640 right here. I got 640 there. And then right over here is the first ever 96 Rock banner that I stole.
You done stole it.
I took it from a concert. I had just got out of broadcasting school, Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
There you go.
And my dream was to work at 96 Rock. That was always the dream.
Well, you pulled it off. You were on air with Southside and Rhodes for
doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
And I literally had that banner right above my bed. So it was the first thing I would see in the morning, the last thing I see when I went to bed, and just worked my tail off and made the dream come true. And it was, and I worked there for, good, if the station was going to go down, I was glad I was there. As much as it sucked to see it go, I was glad to be there. It's a big part of my life is 96 Rock, and through that I was able to do the regular guys, able to do a show with you and Tim, and I did my own weekend shift. Was like crazy that they let me on the air, but they did. I accomplished a lot while I was there. I did everything. I was the jack of all trades. I learned everything that radio could do. And it was the reasons I was like that. My longevity there was there. But then, as you know, radio changed. It's not the same as it was, 10 years ago when it was at, the high point. We always partied. We went to concerts. We all kind of worked together. And now it's like you're lucky if there's 3 people in the building. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as much as I miss it, working at it just wasn't fun. It didn't become fun anymore. So as much as I hated to have to find, I was lucky to find something else that was radio like, and I still am able to do my passion because I don't know what else I could do. Literally,
there you go.
I would have to probably. Who knows what I'd be doing?
You could be a prostitute for truckers. That's what
I can go back
Brett
to stripping.
does.
I can go back
lot
to
lizard, baby. Lot lizard all day. Look at this neck. Look at that lot lizard neck.
Somebody's got to satisfy those men, those long haulers.
Lots of lotion, baby. Lots of lotion.
Yes. So yeah, it was definitely awesome, and like I said, I have a lot of memorabilia here to remind me of those days.
That's awesome. I like it.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome when you kind of accomplish something like that. But I do have to ask you about a situation that happened with you and Southside Steve. Now, this situation, we're going to play on the back end of the show. He asked you to yell in a gas station. What is the entire story behind this? Now, first off, I need to probably preface this saying that you've been brought up on this podcast more than any other person because Kid Chris brought you up, Julie brought you up, so we had to have you on to discuss this one situation where you yelled in a gas station, which everybody can hear on the back end. And I've heard it before. Hilarious. Southside, you were there.
Yeah. It was a National Yell Day
No, it was National Day of Frustration Scream Day.
That's what it was.
It's like October. It's like I remember it every year because I repost that audio clip. It's like October 20th or something.
So Rhodes and I were like, well, let's have him go yell. And I'm like, well, let's have him go where we can see him walk in. So where we were on Peachtree, which is right near Piedmont Hospital, there was the gas station right there. So we had him go to that gas station. So we're looking out the window as we're on the air, watching Alfred walk in. We wanted to make sure he was really doing it, and he did it. And, the audio, you got to hear it. And I got to tell you were all in. And at first you were a little slow and
apprehensive. I was, at this time I was just trying to get in, trying to make a name for myself. At that point I was willing to do anything for a bit at that time, just because I knew, even though I was there to answer phones and help book guests, I knew that there has to be some butthole who has to go out and do this shit. And
you did it.
And you were elevated to the second chair, so fell on me. And so your guys, hey, do you mind if you go walk across the street at the gas station on Collier and Peachtree and go in and scream? And I'm like, okay, like kind of reluctantly, because I was like, man, I can get shot. I could get arrested. I could, who knows? There's a lot of possibilities that could happen.
Hey, can we preface, what year was this? Do you know?
This was 2005. I had just come off my first year of Braves baseball. So it was 05.
05.
And they're like, okay, so we did this thing. So I walked down the street. I walked across the street to the gas station. I'm on the phone with these two guys, and they're like, are you ready? I'm like, all right. So I just go in, and Steve, look, if I'm going to do it, I commit to it. And I committed 110%. I walked in the middle of the place. I walked in right in the middle and just started screaming. I was just screaming. And the thing is when you hear the recorded version, it is way edited down to what it originally was. This is I think it's a 2 or 3 minute long bit, but I was in that store for almost 10 minutes because no one was even registering that I was in there at first. There's a couple of times where the cashier would go, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm frustrated. And he goes, are you done? And I'm like, I'm almost done. And I just start screaming again. people are buying their lottery tickets, buying their liquor, getting their gas, and just like as if this is a normal occurrence that a guy.
Well, Rhodes had a great giggle, and he's giggling the entire time. It was it was funny. It was funnier than we thought it was going to be. So it was good.
It got to the point where I had to leave the store because I was starting to lose my voice because I was screaming so loud and so long that I couldn't scream anymore. So I just walk out and that was it. And it was and one thing I remember from Steve telling me that my directions and instructions were, if you get arrested, don't mention that you're a part of this show. Run through the trees on Collier Road.
I told him, I said, go through the woods. They probably won't chase you. Just get the hell out of there. But do not mention us. You're on your own. I said, now I will bail you out, but do not mention the show. Don't mention us.
That was basically the main rule Steve said is like, if you get caught, run through the trees in Collier. Don't tell them you're a part of this show.
There you go. At least you remember that. So again, with Alfred on the show, Brett, you have your standard 4 questions for Alfred, I assume. 4 or 5 questions.
Yeah, it's going to be 4. I'm keeping it tight. Let's go. So that may have answered the first question. What's the worst thing Steve ever asked you to do working on the show?
All right.
It could go. I mean, I'll let you just answer.
This is probably the worst thing because it affected my life outside of the 4 walls of the radio station. We were giving away tickets to Atlanta Motor Speedway race weekend. No. It was for a Dale Jr. No. It was race tickets. There was race tickets. So the contest was whoever can come in and give me a best hickey on my body won tickets to Atlanta Motor Speedway race weekend. You remember this, Steve?
No, but it sounds funny.
So the front desk calls after we say you got to come to the radio station during the time, and that was the main requirement. So we get a call at the front desk to say, hey, we got 5 people here for your contest, 4 girls and 1 dude. So there was 4 girls and 1 guy who showed up for this thing.
I think I do remember this now. We brought him in the studio, right?
Yeah, we brought him into the studio, and they're like, all right, let's get to work. So, the 4 girls gave me hickeys on my neck, and, Steve and Tim, being just great individuals they were, said, that might be weird if you give Alfred a hickey on your neck. Why don't you give him one on his chest? Because that won't be quite as weird. And so the dude gave me the hickey on he basically motorboated me. Basically, if you want to give it the medical term for it.
Great. And you sit at Alfred Home, whoever he's dating. How do you tell somebody
I was single
this was a radio bit?
I was single at the time, so I was single.
You got 5 hickeys on your body.
I had 2 major hickeys on my left side, 2 on here, and then 1 on my chest. Now, obviously, you guys voted the guy who gave me the one on the chest as the winner.
Yeah.
So the thing is that on Sundays I have family dinner. And then on Friday night, I'd call play-by-play for high school football. So there's going to be people who are going to see what's going on. And this was in the middle of the summer, so it was a little warm. So I had a Braves turtleneck, like what the team used to wear when they would they'd have these Braves turtlenecks. And that was the only thing I had that could cover up these hickeys. So Friday night, I go call this football game for the radio station that I'm working at. Small station in Jackson, Georgia, down in Butts County, and I have it's like 80 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a collar, like I'm wearing a turtleneck under my shirt, and the couple of the coaches were like, "Why are you wearing a turtleneck?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I just wanted to look good tonight for the game, I wanted just
trying to sweat off a couple of pounds."
Yeah, I'm trying to sweat up some pounds because in case you haven't seen, I'm a little big fat.
You could have cut it like a dickie and just had the square.
I could have, but I wasn't thinking. I'm not as quick-witted as you on those kind of things there, Steve. But they knew what happened because they were fans of the show. And they knew I was on the show. So they had already heard I had hickeys. So not only did they mention it to the other coaches, but apparently they had mentioned it to the entire football team before they took the field. So there were a few weeks of grievousness I had to take from the team.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. And then I go to family dinner with my parents on Sunday.
Your mother's like, Alfred, you're a man whore.
My sister, no, I wore the turtleneck to the dinner on Sunday too, because I was like, my parents are Hispanic parents. And if you have had Hispanic parents, believe me, they would they would like take me to church and think I was cursed or Satan had taken over my body because I'm letting. Well, first of all, it's tough enough to explain one hickey to an Hispanic parent, but then you mention 4 that are on your neck, and then they obviously can't see the one on my chest, so I'm not going to show them that one. But yeah. So that was, I mean, that's probably of all the things I did, that was probably, that was one that took some. It took. I think Tim came in and was like, "Come on, man, you know there's going to be a funny bit." So I was like, "All right."
I was ruthless back then. I didn't care.
Oh, when we did Bitch Slap Trivia, I'll tell you right now, Steve. When we did a few installments of Bitch Slap Trivia, people always ask me all the time, when did he really slap you? And they go, yeah. We had this thing when the red light came on that we had like this hate relationship with each other, and we would always go after each other. And Steve's great at it because he doesn't take it personally. He knows it's just the red light's on, and we're just doing this. When the light's off, we're best friends, we're great friends. But he would slap the absolute crap out of me, or make fun of my pimpled face. Or he goes, "I'm gonna hit this pimple he has right here on his nose."
Bitch Slap Trivia was fun until I played with Patrick Kearney and I lit him up. And of course, he was linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. Or no, he was on the? I'm trying to think what position Kearney was.
No, he was defensive end.
Defensive end. You're right. Yeah. And Pat he's like, I'm gonna rock your world. He went back and he hit me. It was a punch. And to this day, my jaw pops from that one slap. It was he hit me with his wrist, his palm of his hand. It was a punch, and he went way back, and my head spun. I was like, all right, that's about the hardest I've ever been hit. But Bitch Slap Trivia was fun. There's no doubt about that. That was fun.
Yeah, we did a lot of great fun things, and like I said, it's such a shame that because the ratings were good. You guys we were number one in afternoons when they blew us out, but that's okay. I got a bonus. I had to go back to the radio station to pick up a bonus check. And I mean, the show was. And I'm unemployed. I'm like, well, that sucks. I'm fired. This is the legend of Southside Steve. This is what amazes me and tells me how huge this guy is in the city. I mean, not only discovering Collective Soul, which if you're a huge Southside Steve fan, know the story of how he discovered the Collective Soul. But also just the fact that this dude isn't even on a radio station. He's not on a radio station and is still getting paid bar gigs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is not even working on a radio station, and people are still calling him up, wanting him to come out and MC their bikini contest or just be at the bar. Now, Miller Lite hired me to go out to Vegas, for the Super Bowl. I had a lot of gigs. The strip club gigs, still kept doing all those. But, yeah, I mean, it was still a rough little 10 months. I actually collected unemployment. I'm like, screw this. I'm going to get mine. I'm getting that money. Because I remember during that unemployment time is when Steve had brought up the idea of, he was telling me about the bar he wanted to do. This is the best story. This is what I love about, I've met Steve Rickman. And I've met Southside Steve. We were at Ted's in Buckhead, and we were just meeting up for lunch one day, just catching up. And he was telling me, I want to open up this bar, and I want to he was telling me I want to call it Southside Steve's. I think it'd be great. And then one of his fans came over to our table, and he's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And he's like, "Come on, let's do it." And he just takes his picture with him, talks to him for about 10 or 15 minutes, just real cordial towards him. And then, then he walks away, and then he comes back and goes, "All right, Alfred, so this is what I want to do." I mean, one thing about Steve that I've learned in radio is that you show your listeners appreciation, they're going to be loyal to you, which is why Southside Steve is still on Atlanta radio after all these years. Well, I have small children, so I hope it continues. I like that. Exactly. But every bar gig I've ever worked with him, any event I've ever done with him, unlike other talents that you'll meet, they'll go to the back and don't even want to talk to the listeners. Steve is all about the listeners. He's all about meeting people, talking. Everyone feels like they're friends of Southside Steve. I'm Southside Steve's friend. That's the way I look at it. But you're starting to. My ego can't take much more. Sorry, say something mean to me. I mean, I can call bullshit. I can call bullshit on that entire story. There's absolutely no way a listener walked up to Southside Steve and he only said, "Come on." Yeah. He would have said, "Southside," what would you have said? "Yeah, come on."
Exactly. Let's go.
No.
I mean, he met me at the damn coffee machine at Cumulus and was like, "Hey, I heard you know how to make podcasts. You want to do one?" I was like, "Let's go."
That
And
was
then-
about how that went. I said, there's a lot of people saying great things about you. Do you want to do a podcast? No. Brett's
Dude,
like,
and then
all right.
and then better than that, because I was doing a different podcast at the time, but it just ended, and I had like all tons of notes because I'm a prepper like nobody's business. And we walk into the place at Oxygen Financial, one of our sponsors, and we're going to tape it. And he goes, "All right, we're going to meet with Ted. We might tape here at his studios, yada, yada, yada. Just meet us here at this time." I was like, "All right, perfect. We'll meet." I just thought it was just a meeting. Literally, the first day we walk in, he's like, "All right," after the meeting, he goes, "Cool, let's walk upstairs and do a podcast." I was like, I have nothing prepared outside of stuff for the
You're good.
podcast I used to do. And I had to pull it all. And it was probably the worst podcast. And we put it out. It was our first one. But we kind of grew from there. And now I get to mess with him. And now I have stuff that I still want to mess with him with once we get back in studio when I am able
Get off
to.
this
'Cause that
damn shift
one-
you're on.
Yeah, that one's on me. I do have to ask you, Alfred, though. I'm going to go a little bit off the wall here because it's rivalry week. And come on, baby. Bama about to kick the shit out of Auburn. Let's go. Dogs on top, or we got dogs going to flop? Because I know you all are both Georgia Tech fans. Come on. Georgia's going to roll through Georgia Tech.
I also
and then go to
have
the SEC championship.
I had my 1990 championship hat
There
that I
you go.
wore.
There you go.
I got it. I'm set.
Now,
Yeah,
remember, you Georgia fans, we Tech fans have had our championship in 1990. You had yours in 1980. So you have a decade longer drought than we have over here at the Georgia Institute of Technology. So we'll just go ahead and put that on the record.
I don't know. You know, the thing is, I'll tell you, I've gotten a little softer. My Tech hate was real up until probably even 8-9 years ago. Now I'm a little less hateful just because my two sister-in-laws went to Georgia. I had to go to the games. One sister-in-law was a cheerleader, but my wife went to Auburn. So the only degree on the wall here is Auburn because I didn't get one at Georgia State. So I'm kind of an Auburn house, but I'm college light. But here's the thing. If Tech spoiled it for Georgia, oh God.
If they lost to Georgia, then go to Alabama and go to the SEC championship game and lose to Alabama,
yeah,
they're not going to be in the top four.
No, they're just not, and that's the
They
problem. Does that happen? And I don't even know. And Brett, you can be honest. How does Alabama? What do you think their chances are against Georgia?
I'll be real. My wife's a Georgia fan, and I think Georgia's a much better team. If you want me to break it down, their defense,
Because they're a great team. Period.
Yeah, their defense is really strong. And Alabama, I think, is overhyped this year more so than they've ever been with such a weak team.
But they're well coached.
And that's the whole thing that's keeping them going in staying in the top 4 ranking is that the fact that they're well coached. And I do not think that they are the national championship team. Now, granted, if we get a natty out of it, I'll take it. We'll wait and see. I don't think that that's going to happen this year, though, for Alabama. I think that it's going to come down to SEC championship. Bama will get a second loss. Kirby walks in, and I think Georgia is going to win it all. Now, granted, I did marry a woman who's a Georgia fan.
Well, we can all be perfect.
Yeah. She went to Southern, though. She went to Southern.
That's all right.
That's hot.
That's good.
That's
she
hot.
can party. She can party then.
Yeah.
So I have to stay
respect
impartial.
Mhm.
I have to stay impartial, but I'll tell you this much. The worst part about this whole thing is that during the SEC championship, my roommate from college is marrying a woman that went to Vanderbilt, and I'm going to be standing there next to him by the altar, missing the entire game.
Oh, that was tough for me because I got married on the game where Georgia Tech beat Florida State on the block field goal and then took it back in for the touchdown back in 2015. So that was the only year I had season tickets for Tech football, and it's the only game I did not go to.
You got to get married in January, boys. I did it January 25th. In between, it didn't mess me up at all.
I did it in April.
I'm telling you, and it's the girl's fault, and they know it, and they get upset. But anytime there's that type of game going on, every dude is in that room where there's a TV or somebody's got it on their phone, and it's like guys are not paying attention. It ruins weddings, no doubt about it.
What can you do? At least it was a great wedding gift that Jordan Tech gave me that day.
There you have it.
I'm going to throw this.
Go ahead.
Throw
you got another question?
2 random ones at you guys. If there was ever a movie made about the regular guys, who would play you in the movie?
Me?
Yeah, Steve. Who would play you?
Oh, God. Brad Pitt.
Danny DeVito.
Well, if you want Steven Seagal.
Yeah, totally.
He's got a ponytail.
Well, I'm Hispanic. Should I get someone who's Hispanic then?
Yeah, you can get that. Yeah, you can get somebody like that. Yeah. That's funny.
Like Antonio Banderas or something?
Yeah, why not? Antonio Banderas would be good. Yeah, for you.
That's real. That seems like
there you go.
Close.
Charlie Sheen could be me. That might work. Yeah.
No, Charlie Sheen's not tall enough.
No, he's not. I don't know who would play me, dude. That's tough. You know who it would be? It'd have to be a wrestler. It would be Kevin Nash would play me.
Big Sexy.
Kevin,
all right.
Big Sexy would be me.
There you go. That makes sense. You guys
what about DDP?
That would work. He's just got to take down the hey.
Yeah, you got to bring it down a little bit.
Bring it down a little bit. We'll be fine.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I was asked that the other day, and I said Jonah Hill for me. I thought it would be funny.
I would love to see the regular guys documentary movie. That'd be
it would be awesome. You do Jonah Hill could play you, Brett. That would work. Yeah, I see that. He's douchier than you.
Well, nah. I don't want to rip on Jonah Hill. He's just. I was asked when I said Jonah Hill, they said, which Jonah Hill? And I was like, Super bad?
What? The fat one? Or
Super bad Jonah Hill or Wolf of Wall Street Jonah Hill?
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
or Moneyball Jonah Hill.
Ooh.
Super bad.
Super bad.
Okay.
That's the one I want. I want like the big Jonah Hill that's like pizza bagels. I want that one.
Get him. All right. That's who I'd take to for you.
All right. One last question. Of y'all's, both your personalities, if you had to have a mascot doing the fact that this is, or, rivalry weekend, what do you think your mascot would be and what would its name be?
Mine would be a lion. I want a lion mascot, literally. The mane, the intensity, yelling. I want that. And I think we'd call him Tiger just because it'd be funny. My lion's name would be Tiger.
That sounds about right. I love that he's never changed. It's so great. I love it so much.
There you go. I got a lion. And, you got to have 10 dudes holding it. And every once in a while, somebody gets eaten. Or no, we'll tranquilize him. Every time he takes a move towards somebody.
Oh, come on, man. Harambe.
Harambe? That works.
I guess that wasn't a tranquilizer. That was more of like a 22 or maybe a 380.
No, can't do that. Can't kill my mascot. You just got to shoot him up.
All right, fine. 30-06.
What's your mascot, Alfred?
Ooh, that's I don't know. I would feel like I'd be something cuddly. So maybe like a koala.
Oh, that's cute. Koala. Yeah. What are you going to call him?
Or Jose.
Okay, at least you had a funny name.
Yeah.
I mean, not Quali or something, or Ashley.
Yeah, so I think I'd be a koala named Jose.
Okay, and I have a lion named Tiger. Now you know.
There you go. I got it. That should be your next T-shirt you make for the store.
There you go. I know. Yeah, comeon.com. We haven't talked about that in a while. Please, somebody got it's Christmas. Order from comeon.com. I got new shirts. I got a hoodie, which is against my religion, but I bought one. Please don't hold up a store wearing my hoodie. But that's the new. And I got stocking hats. So long sleeves.
What kid wouldn't want to open up a Christmas present on Christmas morning of a Yeah Come On hat or a Yeah Come On shirt? I mean,
I don't know. The latest pictures I've taken.
Or
my dad
yeah,
wanted
come
me-
on, show T-shirt, right?
oh yeah.
We have those too. We do have the T-shirts. We do.
All right.
Yep.
Well, kids, get out there and beg your parents to get them those
There's,
things.
well, Alfred Romero.
Yes. Got it. Nice.
I had to concentrate, had to lift my finger, had to work on it, get your name right. And I just want to say it was great having you on. It's good seeing you again, being on technically the air with you again. Some of the memories. Thank you for all the nice things you had to say. And Brett Barney, as always, my co-host partner. It's good to see you again. We had a couple of laps in shows, did some best ofs, but we're back on it again. It is the Yeah Come On Show, brought to you by Joe B's. Also,
am I going to be rude to step on you right here?
I guess so. When I'm talking about advertisers.
Look at the
I know, but we can hit him one more time. But we got to give Alfred a smoke break, though.
Oh, you know what? You do deserve that, Alfred. I am going to do something special. I'm going to hold up on my advertisers to hear what you're doing. I do owe you a smoke break. A smoke break is something the Yeah Come On Show does. The time that it takes to smoke a cigarette, we allow you to totally pimp yourself on anything you want to do or talk about. Whatever.
All right. Well, I do do a podcast called Southern Race Week, where we talk about the world of motorsports, the biggest names in NASCAR, NHRA, and IndyCar series. So I do that. You can find it on iHeartRadio and iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So you can tune in and listen into the biggest names. We recently had Ben Rhodes on, who was the Truck Series champion. You can go through our archives and listen to some of the great interviews we've done. Kevin Harvick we've had on the show. We've had
That's cool.
Rutledge Wood.
Rutledge Wood was on just a few weeks ago. Good old Rutledge.
Very cool. And what's the podcast? What's the name of it?
It's called Southern Race Week.
Southern Race Week. Very cool.
So so doing that and going out to races every now and then. So yeah, just appreciate if you check that out. Especially,
dude,
Steve, I'd love to have your thoughts and opinions because I know you're a radio guy, and
I did the infield for 19 years at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So,
many. That was one of my favorite things too, and that was one of the things I used to stock a 96 Rock at was the Saturday night Atlanta Motor Speedway broadcast because that was my God, that was a party.
Tim Rhodes and I did that for years. That got out of control.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things I got to do in 96 Rock was to do one of the last Saturday night broadcasts from AMS we ever did. Myself and Jennifer Reed, who used to do afternoons on the station for a while. That was, to me, the best thing ever. The Chugging Granny, if anybody's big loyal listeners knows about the Chugging Granny was out there.
I raced her. She beat me legitimately.
Yeah, and the cool thing is we had an RV that we could be up on the roof. So we were up on the roof of the RV. We had a bachelorette party come in and join us up on the roof of the RV during our broadcast.
I wonder what happened to that chick. She's the one that took over for me and Rhodes.
Yes. I think she just scampered off into to who knows. I have never heard anything from her again. And that was probably one of the worst decisions because she was not that good. But she did everything the company asked her to do, which was opposite of what you and Tim were doing. So
yeah,
easier to control someone like that than control two guys who know what they're doing on the radio waves. And at least
I appreciate it. Yeah, which got us unemployed. That was
there you go.
That was great.
But anyway, yeah, so you can check that on iHeartRadio, iTunes.
All right, I'll check it out, Alfred. Congrats on that podcast. I didn't know about it. I'm glad you suggested the cigarette break, Brett. Anything else you want to walk on me before I go back to my sponsors, our sponsors?
Yeah, the ones.
No, I don't know if you just check. Look at your text messages every now and again.
Yeah, didn't have my phone, and I apologize. Stand by.
Because that's how we communicate.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You know what? I stopped. It was told, don't forget.
Before you go on.
By the way, this was supposed to be a short ass show, and you've extended our time with your damn long talking.
Well, listen. First of all, I wanted to ask you this though, because I've wanted this for years. You're married now with 2 kids. Did you ever see the day you'd ever get married?
No, absolutely not. No.
And what's it like now that you are?
No. Marriage is tough. I love her, but it's tough because we have kids. But I married the only person that would have ever worked for me. I mean, the person I love for sure. And having children with her makes it even more special. But marriage is work, and being a father is work more than I ever thought it was. Being single is way easy. It's stupid easy. So, yeah, I have to be a better person now that I'm married.
All right, cool.
But
Go.
I fell in love, man. And I'm like,
that's sweet.
crap, I fell in love. Then I'm like, oh God, I'm going to get married. Crap, I'm going to have kids. God. I did it. Here we are. We stopped at 2. I've been fixed. I can no longer impregnate. So I'm done.
Well,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for that. My swimmers swam big time. So it wasn't hard to get pregnant, which tells you I was very skilled for many years, not getting people pregnant. I had that method down, baby. Get out. The second it gets tingly, get out. Don't wait. Don't go in 1 more, 2 more times. Those are the morons that have kids with chicks they don't like. It's the Yet.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Thanks to joebees.com, auctionfinancial.com, circle285.com, and Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. Good luck. I know this Black Friday special. Oh, look at the Georgia Tech and the Alabama. We'll see who wins. Is it Alabama
Georgia
or Auburn or Georgia Tech? I think I got an idea on both. There you have it. Yeah, come on.
Pink Floyd, 96 Rock, Atlanta's classic rock station, Southside Roads. In case you didn't know this, today is International Moment of Frustration Scream Day.
So if you're frustrated, what better day than to let it out?
Yeah, I guess today it's okay just to scream.
Yeah, when you're frustrated, you can't talk. You just got to scream.
So we sent Gustavo, our little producer / intern guy, to a quickie mark down the street, and he's just going to let it out and just scream right in front of everybody and see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if he gets kicked out or not.
All right, Alfred, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm about to walk in right now.
Oh, God.
All right.
Can we get in trouble for this?
I don't know. Alfred, you are not with this radio show if you get busted. Run.
Okay.
Run
All
for the
right.
woods on Collier Road.
Okay, I'm about to walk in. I'm just frustrated. Sorry.
I'm waiting to hear the cashier.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just frustrated. I think I almost got it on my system on.
Alfred,
Yeah.
what'd he say?
Nothing. They're just looking at me. He was looking at me like 3 times. He goes, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm just frustrated." And they just kept going about their business, like buying lottery tickets and.
All right. Hey, well, you know what? I'm glad you got it out of your system. You feel better?
I'm frustrated. Let it all out. It feels good.
All right, man. Good job.
Thank you.